vowing to always look back at the horrors of September 11th, but vowing to move forward together as Americans. As flags flew on high, football was here to help lift spirits in the same direction. Football's heroes honored America's real heroes by playing, and by playing hard. On this Sunday, the NFL shouldered its responsibility for the nation.
For the land of the free and the home of the
A historic day, to say the very least, in the National Football League. Chris Berman along with Tom Jackson. It's good to be here with you, Tom. Football properly took last Sunday off, and very properly this Sunday came back. And I think, as the commissioner told us in the morning, Tom, if football's main job on this day was to be uplifting, both from players bonding on the field and people in seats, as we're about to see, rooting for teams from other places, then I think primarily it did that, don't you?
Yeah, I don't know what our expectations were exactly for today, but it ended up being a very moving and a very exciting day for us.
And I think everybody who was in the stadiums this week and in weeks to come will be moved in very different ways. We start, and fate would have it that neither of the New York teams were home on this day as football came back to play, and neither is Washington there at Monday night at Green Bay. But the New York Football Giants were out into the heartland, kind of a juxtaposition, if you will, but really, if you think about it, as we've seen all throughout sports this week, everyone feeling for New York, and that was no different as the Giants played at the Chiefs. The New York Giants playing pretty much for all of New York, but they found that they really were not alone out in the heartland, because I think it's one of the most moving things I've seen. Tom, look, they're already cheering in Kansas City. That's for the Giants, okay? And you know how they love their Chiefs with the red. Great job, Kansas City, and great job at so many of the parks around the NFL. The commissioner, as we said, on hand, the military, and the emotion on the field and in the crowd definitely felt and will not be forgotten. And then they played football. The Giants led 3-0. Kansas City going in to take the lead until Trent Green throws high. Sean Williams picks it off. Big turnover for the New York Football Giants. Ensuing possession, Kerry Collins. Now, Kerry was picked off, but at times, look, he finds Joe Jurevicius 13 yards. And then that's a pretty good-looking play to Tiki Barber.
Yeah, and they work Tiki Barber to the outside, as they do oftentimes, the lightning element in Thunder and Lightning.
And this is the tight end, Dan Campbell, on a little cross, 22 yards. And then when you're moving like that, then you can give it to Lightning. That's Tiki. 13 yards to the 10. Nice interior blocking by the Giants, you saw at the head of the play on a reverse pull. And then Ron Dane, as we get to the second quarter, 80-yard drive, 10-0 Giants. I was going to say Collins was picked off 3 times, but he was 20 of 24 passing.
Yeah, you take a look at Glenn Parker and his block as he comes across the formation. Going to get a nice kick out right there. Ron Dane gets a chance to turn it up just inside the tackle and get to the end zone.
But here's what the Giants bring when they're playing best, and that's defense. Keith Hamilton wraps up Trent Green. The score 13-0 in the third. Green goes long, and here's a good-looking rookie, Marvin Snoop Minnis. But unfortunately, after hauling it in for 49 yards, he was quite wobbly, and you can see why as his head hit the turf. Thank goodness it's real grass. He would not return in this game. 13-3, the Chiefs trying to make a run. Trent Green will, in the fourth quarter, on 3rd and 3, keep it for a first down. 3rd and 5 at the 32. Green for Tony Richardson. Oh. Dick Vermeil says, well, let's pull to within 7, but it's going to be a 49-yard field goal for Todd Peterson. No good. And the Giants would run out the clock. Hugs from Jim Fossil and Dick Vermeil, and a together prayer on the field and in the stands. Very classy performance in Kansas City, and a very classy performance by the New York Giants, who every day they went to practice looked across the river and could see the forever changed skyline of New York City. The Giants, as they said earlier and as they say after the game, playing for a city that they would not disappoint.
I wanted us to come out and just play in a way that would make New York proud, really. And I think that's what it really comes down to. And we wanted to win that game for a lot of different reasons. One of them is you know, it was going to brighten a lot of people's day back there in New York. But really, I think the important thing is you want to play the way that you think will make them proud.
The game that we play is a game. You know, this isn't a matter of life or death. You know, yes, it is our job, but it's a game. And you know, the people that lost their lives, the people that were at work, the firemen, the policemen, and all the volunteers that were there helping people to try and survive this tragedy, you know, those are the ones that, you know, really need to be commended.
The police department had, the fire department had, the rescue department had, as we can see it. We'll talk football and the way the Giants did concentrate, Tommy, but we heard from so many, Michael Strahan. Actually, Michael Barrow was so poignant on our pregame. We owe it, the firefighters and the police department made the Giants feel at home when they went to ground zero. Hey, do something for us. Play hard for us. We want to watch football. You know what? They played hard for them.
Well, and I think there are certain times that in a game where emotion can carry the day, and I think that this was one of those occasions. No matter where the New York Giants would have been playing, their hearts and their thoughts were with those of the New York family that they feel, the people of New York, if you will. And I think certainly then Jim Fossil also put a good game plan together in terms of what they like to do, which is to run the football and play to their defense, allow them to have a chance to win the game at the end. And I'm probably most encouraged by Ron Dane and his almost 50 yards running. You've seen him become a more mature runner.
Jim likes to innovate some, but I think that we saw last year and we're seeing earlier this year, he's pretty in touch with his players and his ball club.
I said earlier today, no one maybe has his finger on the pulse of his team more than Coach Jim Fossil.
Well, and the Giants go out to Kansas City. They play at Denver and at Kansas City, two on paper. Tough place to play on the road. And the Giants get out of there 1-1 and a win that New Yorkers all thank them for. Meanwhile, a rivalry in the Midwest at Soldier Field, appropriately Soldier Field, the host of a big game, and the biggest flag we saw is the Bears open up against the Minnesota Vikings, and the Chicago Fire Department saluting. Dante Culpepper, but look at, well, if Fridge was 72, this is the mini bar. Carl Powell with a nice play, bringing down Dante Culpepper, holding the Vikes to a field goal. Vikings lost Robert Griffith on the opening kickoff. The Bears lost their starting quarterback, Shane Matthews, bruised ribs, second quarter. So it's 3-0 in the third. Culpepper to Andrew Jordan from, well,
not from Brown.
That was Steve Jordan. I got to say. 10-0 Vikings. So Jim Miller is in, and he looks to Marcus Robinson, but it's out of his hands, into the hands of Orlando Thomas. Miller strong-armed it. Griffith likes it. It's 10-3. The Bears trailing in the fourth. Marty Booker from Northeast Louisiana. See, we've been together too long. What a night. He had 9 catches. That's a 15-yard touchdown to tie it at 10. Mitch Berger tries to make something of a broken punt, but Bobby Howard is there to break up the pass. The Bears take over. Under 6 to go. Miller to Booker. 10 yards. And then Jim Miller to Cuckoo Kachu. Where have you gone, Marcus Robinson? He's such a big target, and he makes the catch, and the Bears have the lead 17-10.
Yeah, and Robinson, 6'3", 215 pounds, just too big and strong for Robert Tate. Leap right over him to make the catch.
The Vikings, we saw the frustration in week 1 after an undefeated preseason. Here's Chris Carter yelling at Farron Wright after a personal foul. Carter here is called for pass interference. Chris, who caught only 1 on this day, talking with Dante Culpepper, and looks a little heated. Culpepper actually hits Carter for 13 yards. First ruled out of bounds. Then on a certainly frustrating day, this is 1 catch, 13 yards. They overrule and says it is a catch. But with 4th and 10 with over a minute to go, down by a touch, that just looked terrible. Out of bounds, Culpepper, Moss and Culpepper, look at this. Those are the signs of a team that was 4-0 in the preseason, but a very shocking 0-2 to start the year, losing to Carolina and Chicago as the Bears win it 17-10. And the Minnesota Vikings now have some head-scratching to do and some regrouping in a hurry, Tom.
You know, we talk about the emotion of the day. This team has been under an emotional strain since the tragedy of Corey Stringer's death. And I think combined with the fact that in little football, Robert Smith, 2 games last year, 37 carries, 279 yards against the Bears, missing that, putting another kind of pressure on this football team.
And by the way, lost in the shuffle of the Bears. 2 straight games, they've come out and played very stout defense. 27 points allowed in the 2 games, which are a split. When we return, Michael Vick, could he get it in the end zone? And these were the scenes at stadiums all day long. We couldn't see enough of it.
NFL Primetime is presented by Miller Lite.
Understanding the day, here's the ball. I know it's on my second NFL start, and it's a touchdown. Good job, Chris. 5 yards, 10-7 Panthers.
Very mature.
Michael Vick came into this series in the second quarter as scripted to replace Chris Chandler. Hit Tony Martin for 18 yards. That's his first NFL completion. And then, you know he can run it. And then he understands what the NFL is right here. And flips over to Bron Harper, 23 yards rushing. Settled for a field goal, 10-10 at the half. Third quarter, Chris Chandler back a little play action. And wait a minute. Jamal Anderson's supposed to carry it, but he's wide open. 94 yards. Touchdown. Second longest in Falcon history. Tommy, how did it happen?
Well, I won't presume as to who made the mistake. Dan Morgan, the linebacker on the right, Lester Towns on the left. It's a good call by the Falcons. It's a flow out of split backfield where you make the near side backer have to play run. Somebody has to pick up the pass. We won't know who. It's a good call by Dan Reeves and his staff.
And then with the ball at the 2, Vick goes in for this play because he can do this. Touchdown. So his first completion and his first NFL touchdown. He keeps the ball. And the Falcons get the win. So both they and the Panthers are 1-1 on this season. They win 24-16, and for whatever reason, Atlanta said Carolina's number. They beat him 6 of 7 since 1998. And a little glimpse at Michael Vick.
And I think the most important stat that we saw is the 25 for 98 in terms of the rushing yards for Jamal Anderson. He's the driving force behind this offense. If Dan can get him back running strong, then Chris Chandler can begin to get comfortable at the quarterback
As
position.
can Michael Vick when
Yes.
he plays occasionally for Chandler. The Lions at the Browns. The scene in Cleveland. Earl Little, Corey Fuller. And they get to play defense against their ex-teammate Ty Detmer, traded for a 4th-round pick. Tim Couch throwing touchdowns. That's a tackle-eligible Sean O'Hara. Couch at 3 TDs on the day, 14-0 the Browns. Get used to this. Ty Detmer picked off by Percy Ellsworth. When you add a pick on a Hail Mary at the end of the half, 2 picks in the half, 14-0 Cleveland. Oh, he's picked off by Anthony Henry. He had the Hail Mary, now he has this one. 3 picks by the ex-Brown Detmer. Sets up a field goal, 17-7. Detmer rolls out. And if you're Elway or Favre, Tommy, you can make it, but forget it. Tip pick off by Jameer Miller, that's 4.
Yeah, need a strong arm to throw the ball against your body, and Ty Detmer just couldn't get it there.
So Detmer starting his first game for Detroit instead of Charlie. Oh, he's picked off by Earl Little, there's 5. Detmer flushed out the inside. Oh, he's picked off by Corey Fuller, there's 6. Then, by the way, it's still 24-14. It's still a game. Detmer, he's picked off by Dalen McCutcheon. But wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute, I said. Illegal contact. Browns. Detroit still in business. So Detmer goes back to pass, and he's going for it, but he's picked off by Anthony Henry. His 3rd, Detmer's 7th interception of the game. The NFL record, 1950 Chicago Cardinals, Jim Hardy had 8. 8 other players have had 7. The last, Steve DeBerg for Tampa Bay in 86. On a day that Ty Detmer certainly needs to forget. And the Lions, where are they going now with neither Bats nor Detmer seeming to understand what's going on?
Well, they're going back to bats, but I think you have to give credit to Cleveland's defense. I think they've come out and they've begun at least to understand what they have to do defensively. But again, the 7 interceptions is the deciding factor in the game.
And unfortunately, it looks like the only thing, right, Tom, the Detroit will have with the Super Bowl is if
William Clay Ford making that deal with the car dealers
to move the Super Bowl. When we return, More action from around the league on a memorable Sunday.
Hey, don't walk like a cop, all right?
You say you're serious about doing some good in the real world. Well, this is the place to learn.
Even those sworn to protect
Please get away from the girl!
are human.
What's wrong with street justice?
Oh, just let the animals wipe themselves out.
God willing.
Even those dedicated to keeping the peace can cross the line.
That's what I'm talking about.
Denzel Washington,
You think I'm crazy, right?
Ethan Hawke,
I think you're a road cop.
Training Day. Rated R. Starts October 5th.
Pennies, nickels, dimes, we're always getting change. What if instead of throwing it on your dresser, you invested it in her? What if you used it to change her life? Sponsor a child through Christian Children's Fund. In fact, call right now, and ask for the picture of one little boy or girl who needs you. What we don't give a second thought to can change a life.
He helped break baseball's color barrier. Then his life took a tragic turn. Roy Campanella's Sports Century Tonight. From his days as a three-time MVP to the car crash that ended his career.
He said, I would rather die than live like this.
And his abusive wife.
She apparently began to have affairs with other men.
The tragic hero, Roy Campanella.
He was an inspiration to me.
Sports Century, the top 50 and beyond. 8 p.m. tonight, only on ESPN Classic. To get ESPN Classic, call 1-800-CLASSIC now.
Sunday Night Football on ESPN. The Denver Broncos, well, you know what they did. An impressive opening win on Monday night against the Giants. Arizona, how did they do open it? Well, they never played a game. But at 0-0, they began week 2 in the NFL in first place in the NFC East. And if they could upset the Broncos at home, they'd remain in first. Dan Patrick has the highlights.
Technically, they entered Sunday in first place. That's only because the Arizona Cardinals didn't play in week 1 and the other teams in the NFC East lost. On Sunday night, the Cards got their first taste of the 2001 season when they welcomed Denver to town. This was Arizona's first game since their final preseason game 23 days ago. The Broncos did not arrive fully assembled, having lost Ed McCaffrey for the year and Terrell Davis for a month. Touching moment with the huge flag unfurled to cover the entire field. Second quarter, Denver down by 1. Brian Greasy to Rod Smith, 17-10 after the two-point conversion. Look at it again. Smith laying out and making the grab. Third quarter, Greasy's not done. Neither is Smith. Greasy, Smith, touchdown, 24-10 Broncos as they cruised to win this one comfortably, 38-17. Smith, a club record 14 catches for 162 yards and 2 touches. Olandis Gary and Mike Anderson combined to rush for 148 yards on 33 carries. Brian Greasy completed 17 consecutive passes at one point, finished with 242 yards. Greasy has 6 touchdown passes against no interceptions on the year. Next Sunday night, it's the Cowboys 0-2 visiting the Philadelphia Eagles 1-1, coming off the impressive victory in Seattle, led by last year's MVP runner-up Donovan McNabb. Showtime with Mike, Joe, and Paul, 8:30 Eastern. Chris?
Welcome back to NFL Primetime. The Bills and Colts in the AFC East. Colts and Bills inside at Indy. Hand over heart, that was John Fina, one of the veteran Bills. And look at Nate Clements, #1 pick. Picks off Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning's terrible, isn't he? You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, here's how terrible he is. You know what? I'm so upset that I'm looking at aerial pictures to see what mistakes. And guess what? He didn't make many more. Now, Tom, down 7-0. Here's Manning to Ken Dilger. How does a tight end on a short little flick go for 44 yards?
Missed assignment.
Later in the drive from the 1, it's going to be Edgerrin James. Now, I understand how he can get 1 yard. He does. And we're tied at 7. Greg Williams, in his second game as head coach, knows that the task is large to beat the Colts in Indy. Oh, it's a flea flicker. Manning, James, Manning, Jerome Pathon. I think the Bills bit. 14-7 Indy. With the game tied at 14-all, Peyton Manning throws through the blur to Marvin Harrison. 39 yards, 21-14 Colts.
Yeah, you take a look at Anton Winfield at the top of your screen, and what he does is squat too long gives Harrison a chance to get on top of him and blow by him for a score.
Did we say Manning to Harrison, 39 yards? Yes, I think we did. 39 yards again, 28-14 COLTS Colts.
Now, right there, Winfield thinks he has help on the inside. The safety gets turned the wrong way. He tried to make a quick turn to get back. But again, it's something that the Colts do awfully well, the crossing route from Peyton to Harrison.
3 times Manning and Harrison hooked up all in the first half at 35-17 then, and the Colts pretty much coast after Peyton threw for 324 in the first half. The Colts humble the Bills 42-26, a career-high 421 yards throwing for Peyton Manning. He threw for all the TDs, the 4 of them. Payton caught 9, Harrison caught 7, 9 for 168, 7 for 146. James ran for 111. Peyton Manning, pretty good day, huh?
The best thing about it is that you get time with the line of scrimmage, Jaws. You get to see what they're doing, get to a run play, get to a pass play, and like I said, keep the defense breathing heavy, you know, and especially at home, you have time to hear and have time to make a lot of calls.
All right. Peyton Manning, a super job today as the Colts go to 2-0. Back to the studio.
Ron Jaworski, ESPN.
You know, those quarterbackers get here. It wasn't his career high, but it doesn't matter. He's going to set more career highs this year. You know what? Colts may not improve by 100 points on defense. They're going to improve by 100 on offense. Tommy, they're the Rams this year.
Yeah, and Peyton's got a commercial where he explains it pretty well. We run the ball really well, therefore we're able to play action off of it, and I think you saw great examples of it today.
So the Indianapolis Colts in 2 weeks scored 87 points. The Bengals at home against the champion Ravens, who have not lost since October 29th. That's 11 months. Elvis Gerback, Travis Taylor, nice grab. They had to work to get it. Later in the drive, Ravens 2nd and goal. Gerback is going to look for Patrick Johnson, who, you know, they run up some interesting routes here in Baltimore, and they call it a touchdown, but there's a flag. First of all, a yellow flag, late hits to KO Spikes. But then there's, on the field, red flags because Dick LeBeau has thrown the challenge flag. You'd like to look at the replay, and Tom,
Patrick,
pretty good gauge.
Patrick Johnson, 1, 2, 3, 4 steps out of bounds. You can't be the first guy to touch the ball once you do that, and you have to wonder how the officials missed it the first time around, but they got it right with the replay.
So the same Ravens drive, 3rd and goal, knocked away by the Bengals defense, but Cincinnati playing good D. And then here's another flag on the play.
Well, Takeo Spikes does a job of holding the receiver. Probably would have been a score had he not held him. So it's a bad play, but a good play in a way for Takeo Spikes.
So here's the same series. Time doink, 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 doink. And it's in the hands of Brian Simmons. So, I mean, the Ravens are, how many more chances they get? It's 3-0 Cincy. And at the start of the second half, I mean, the Bengals down 3-0. Patrick Johnson has the ball. Stripped by Canute Curtis. The El Kabong by Canute. And the Bengals have the ball inside the 20. The Bengals ensuing drive. John Kitna caboodles it to Corey Dillon. The Bengals are leading the Ravens 7-3. It's now 14-3. Gerback, Johnson. Here comes Baltimore, down 14-10. Later in the 4th, Ravens driving inside the 30. Gerback, no, but this time it's the KO Spikes, providing a take KO. Rolling. Smelling the end zone, 66 yards. And the 21-10 lead. And the 21-10 upset. The first time since October 29th, the Ravens have lost. The Cincinnati Bengals are 2-0 as they beat Baltimore 21-10. And let's give the Bengals full due. They beat New England last week. And let's talk 33 of 63 with 3 picks for 326 for Elvis Gerback. We know Baltimore can't run it. Look, by the way, you can't win every game. They've won 12 in a row. But, Tom, if you're going to throw that many times and complete only 50% of your passes and have only 10 yards of completion, that's not the sort of numbers you need for that sort of thing. You need to complete, if it's 10 yards of completion, you need to complete about 65%.
And I think the key here is, and Brian Billick certainly was dissatisfied with it last year, and I certainly will be this year, is to get the ball into the end zone. I think the mistakes in the red zone are the things that will bother Coach most. But again, it is a team that cannot really effectively run the ball now, so they're dependent on the pass to make things happen. Defenses know that. They take advantage. And again, let's give the Bengals full credit for this.
Yes.
This is a pretty solid defense with Simmons and Foley and Takeo Spikes, and if they can get some scoring and get some confidence, it'll be a very interesting Central Division.
Well, the first place Cincinnati Bengals, 3 picks, forced 3 fumbles. I mean, there's not much more you can do than that. As the Baltimore Ravens lose for the first time since last fall. When we return, Emmett looking for a record.
ESPN College Game Day, presented by Discover Card. Now 90 minutes.
Down here, you dine on dirt, unravel egos, grapple grizzlies, then dance. Madden NFL 2002. EA Sports. It's in the game.
Rated E for everyone.
That's your new Kia Sophia?
Yep. Got it at Kia September clearance event.
Well, I love my Toyota Corolla. I just got AC installed.
AC came standard with ours. Power windows, power locks. Standard and standard.
Does a 5-year warranty come standard?
No.
Figures.
But a 10-year warranty does. Plus, we got $1,500 cash back, which means we paid about $2 grand less than you.
$2 grand.
Oh, my. Oh, my gosh. Honey, are you okay?
Get amazing deals on 2001 models during Kia's September clearance event. Hurry, event ends October 1st.
Whoa! I think I caught something. What'd you catch? A cold? Hey, there's $1. Ooh, I'll get it. Don't scare the fish. It's just $1. $1 buys a lot with 10, 10, 220. All calls up to 20 minutes are only 99 cents. And just 7 cents a minute after 20. That's cheap. How do you use it? Dial 10, 10, 220, 1, and then the number. I'm gonna get that $1. I saw it first.
Dial 1010-220.
Get it.
I don't know what my mother calls me more often, Jimmy or...
You must be hungry.
At her table, there's always a helping of this, a taste of that, and you get as much as you want. Which is how Olive Garden brings you their never-ending pasta bowl. Have Alfredo with penne, or how about bolognese and meat sauce with fettuccine? You pick your homemade sauces, you pick your pastas, you get all you want. It's all delicious, and it's just $7.95. Tonight I'm having it with my brother. Mom calls him...
Did you eat yet?
Olive Garden. When you're here, you're family.
NFL Primetime is presented by Miller Lite.
The scene at Alltel Stadium in Jacksonville, the firemen and policemen getting standing ovations. Here come the Jags, and if there's a team they want to beat, and they did it here last year after the 2 year ago debacle against Tennessee, they want to beat Tennessee Titans, who prevented them from going to the Super Bowl. But very early, Fred Taylor, groin injury, dropped the ball.
Yeah, obviously in a lot of pain at that moment that groin pull hit him because he dropped the football, and it was a fumble.
6 carries, 20-yard strained groin. He's out, but his replacement, Stacy Mack, 22-yard touchdown. Mack is back, and the Jags take a 10-6 lead. They're up 13-6 in the fourth. Mark Brunell to Damon Jones, 40 yards. But Eddie Robinson forces the fumble. Whoop! Samuri Roll, who has 6 interceptions against the Jaguars alone, is Johnny on the spot. Could Roll do it to them again? 25-yard return of the fumble. Here come the Titans. Remember, Steve McNair didn't start. It's Neil O'Donnell. Eddie George, 4th and doesn't get it. Later in the 4th, 4th and 4. O'Donnell. Kevin Dyson. First down at the 9. 4th and goal at the 9. Just before the 2-minute warning. O'Donnell. Fernando Bryant bats it away, Tom.
Yeah, Fernando Bryant does a great job of making up ground on Kevin Dyson. Dyson only open for a split second. He was able to knock the pass down.
And Tom Coughlin and the Jaguars, there's a little bit more than meets the eye here. By the way, the Jaguars look back. 2 impressive wins over Pittsburgh and now Tennessee. And the Titans like Minnesota, a surprising 0-2 start.
Yeah, and Eddie George, the 20 carries for 79 yards, I think still a result of Lorenzo Neal not being in that backfield. But the Jags playing well, but can ill afford to lose frontline people today. Fred Taylor, at least for a while.
The last 2 years, 18 teams began 0-2. None of them made the playoffs. However, here's Dallas, and here's Emmitt Smith, who could pass Barry Sanders for second all-time. Emmitt and Junior Seau began playing each other on this field Week 1, 1990. Doug Flutie to Freddie Jones. San Diego Superchargers. 7-0 Chargers. First quarter, Flutie scrambling to Curtis Conway. San Diego Superchargers. 14-0 Chargers. With the score 17-0 in the second. Anthony Wright starting at quarterback for Dallas. 80 yards to Rocket Ishmael, but who later left with a sprained right knee. But on this play, he was wide open, Tom.
Well, you're going to see Rodney Harrison at the safety spot. He can see him getting on top of him. Just misgauges his speed, misgauges where the ball is in the air, and you don't see Rodney do that very often.
Score 17-7. Well, two guys that we have enjoyed watching through the years. Doug Flutie, Tim Dwight, the connection.
San Diego
Supercharger. This sets up a field goal. Flutie, first half, almost 200 yards. Second quarter, a slice of history. Emmitt Smith needed 64 yards to pass Barry Sanders for second. He does so. Congratulations to Emmitt Smith in his 12th season. Walter Payton, 1,500 yards ahead. That's Bullet Bob Hayes speaking to the crowd. Jerry Jones inducted into the Ring of Fame. The Ring of Honor, they call it in Dallas. Meanwhile, it's the reverse to Tim Dwight. San Diego Superchargers. Touchdown, 26-14 San Diego. With a score 29-21. Wright's pass picked off by Ryan McNeil. San Diego Superchargers. The San Diego Chargers in 2 games this year have won more than they won all last year. The 1-15 Chargers are now 2-0. They win it 32-21. They play Cincinnati next week in what obviously is a precursor to the AFC Championship game. Bengals, Chargers. That's going to be next week. Hey, Emmitt Smith, congratulations.
To be compared in the same breath as a Barry Sanders or even a Walter Payton or any other guy that's on that list, it's an honor. Seriously. I mean, as a kid, you grow up and you see a lot of these individuals playing, and you watch what they do, and you love what they do because you love the game itself. And then you all of a sudden you thrust into the same situation or you have the same opportunities that they've had, and now you're just moving along right along these guys. You meet some of them, and you get to know them. And all of a sudden, you find yourself like, man, I'm just one of the boys.
Well, I tell you what, one of the best boys. We go inside the numbers. Way to go, Emmitt. 15,291 yards for his career. Only one man on top of him, the incomparable sweetness, Walter Payton. I mean, there it is. Don't need to look at much more than that. Pretty simple. Way to go, Emmitt.
Inside the Numbers is brought to you by Visa, the preferred card of the NFL. Visa, it's everywhere you want to be.
When we return, what a great finish between the Dolphins and the Raiders. And the Eagles go to the Pacific Northwest to try to get it right.
More. That's what you get with Verizon Wireless. Right now, you get 3,000 more night and weekend home airtime minutes, free every month for life. And there's more. Now through September 30th, get a Motorola StarTAC on sale for just $50. And get this great value in more places. Visit a Verizon Wireless communication store. Log on to VerizonWireless.com or call 1-800-2-JOIN-IN. So hurry in and get the Motorola StarTAC at our lowest price ever, only from Verizon Wireless. Join in.
That's weird. Honey, this lipstick doesn't look like your shade. Oh, $300 for a massage? I don't remember a massage. Honey, Get in here. I'm watching the videotape for my bachelor party.
Thick-headed? Sure. But nothing compared to the rich, thick, frosty mug taste of an A&W root beer. With A&W, it's good to be thick-headed.
Boy, was that embarrassing. Here, let me rewind it.
Want a job that makes you happy? Post your resume now. Monster.com.
You the monster.
I like this one and that one, Daddy.
You have to pay the man for the rabbits now. Can I write a check?
Have to see some ID.
Okay.
Love is in the air, everywhere.
Have to call us in.
Okay.
Just a minute.
Daddy.
Have to see a second ID.
Okay.
This doesn't look like you. Date of birth. Have to phone this in.
Next time, use the Visa check card instead of cash or checks. It'll get you in, out, and on with life.
Mother's maiden name.
E.T. phone home.
I am so scared. I want the truth. You can't handle the truth. Wait for my signal, then unleash hell. Hello, Clarice. I see dead people.
Really into movies? Then come to Best Buy for all your favorite movies and the coolest ways to watch them, or even make your own. Best Buy. Go ahead, turn on the fun.
So Budget.com has all kinds of cool cars from just $19.99.
And you can book one in less than a minute. Everyone should have access to Budget.com.
Hey, why don't we send computers to everyone in America?
Yes.
We don't need to get everyone computers.
Maybe not.
1999 things.
No, that's excellent. But
Yeah, great idea.
Cool cars, cool price.
All next week on the History Channel. In each country, it began the same. A small brotherhood would unite for protection.
The only way you could revolt in early Russian society was to become a criminal.
But as power grew, greed and violence followed.
The gangsters didn't buy off the police. They were the police.
Trace the history of the global criminal underworld. A world premiere special, Organized Crime. All next week at 9 on the History Channel.
Welcome back to NFL Prime Time. Two teams impressive wins in Week 1 on the road. The Raiders winning at Kansas City. Miami winning at Tennessee. John Gruden, emotional on a very hot day in Miami. Jay Fiedler was hot early and then late. This is late second quarter, 3rd and goal. Fiedler takes it in, and Miami leads 7-6. Fiedler back to pass, picked up by Anthony Dorsett, 26 yards. Raiders don't get 2, but they lead it 15-10 early 4th.
Anthony Dorsett does a great job here of staying in his zone. They try to pull him up with the slot guy going inside. He doesn't do it. He fades to the outside, looks up the receiver, makes a great grab, gets a score for his team.
Remember last year, the Raiders doused the Dolphins in the playoffs 27-0. Fiedler slides. He is drilled by Johnny Harris, William Thomas, shaken. He's tougher than you think, much tougher. Stays in the game. The Dolphins punting at this stage. Under 2 minutes with the score, 15-10, Miami in business, but in their own territory. Fiedler, Dedrick Ward, the former Jet, out of bounds, 20 yards. Next play, Fiedler. It's not a major play, but it's a nice pickup to Travis Minor. Out of bounds, 8 yards. Fiedler. Top pick from Wisconsin, Chris Chambers, one of the Chambers brothers. 27 yards. 1st and 10 of the 26. Fiedler. From behind second base, Oronde Gadsden, 6 yards. 3rd and 3. Fiedler looking for Gadsden, who's such a good leaper. And the Raiders are there to defend it, so now Tommy, we're 4th and 3 at the 18. Gruden says one play and we got a tough win on the road. Fiedler throwing from shortstop, now running out. Ward, what a clutch play. Tick, 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 tick. First and goal. Fiedler smells the foul line. To third base, he's down at the 2. Got to spike it. Tick, tick, tick. They do spike it. Third and goal from the 2, 12 seconds to go. Fiedler. Rolling, looking around former teammate Trace Armstrong, and it's a touchdown. It's a touchdown. Miami, with seconds to go, has taken a 16-15 lead. Gruden wants to review it, but after further review,
you take a look at the replay, you can see Fiedler does a great job of stretching out, keeping his legs up in the air. That ball is across the plane before his knee hits. Good call by the refs.
And the Miami Dolphins go for the 2 points and get it. They win it 18-15. Jay Fiedler, a much tougher customer than a lot of people understand. They understand that Miami has a rock-solid defense, and the Dolphins, to me, as impressive an opening 2 wins as any team in football, Tom, at Tennessee and winning against the Raiders.
Well, outstanding defense. That's the thing I love today. When I talked with them this week, they wanted to keep Rich Gannon in the pocket, force him to do things from the pocket, and don't let him get out and improvise, not only throwing the ball, but running as well, which is what they thought killed him last week. 14 of 25 for 125 yards. That will win you a lot of football games defensively.
And they allowed, what, only 216 to the Raiders all day, and they got 359.
And great job by Fiedler. I mean, a lot of poise at the end of that football game.
Clutch. So Miami 2-0, by the way, playing St. Louis next week. Very interesting. When we go to the late games, it's the Eagles and the Seahawks in the Pacific Northwest. Teacher, the mentor and pupil, that will be Mike Holmgren and Andy Reid. And Donovan McNabb and Ricky Waters, and so many looking at the flag. Husky Stadium on the flubber. Deuce Staley, 11-yard run, but takes a hit on the shoulder for Marcus Robertson. Staley gets up, pain in the shoulder. That's new pain. Remember, there was knee problem before. The partial dislocation of a joint in the right shoulder. So back to square one for the Eagles offense, no problem. Well, except early it's a problem because Coral Buckholter, rookie from Nebraska, fumbles. Ken Lucas recovers. Those are the young cornerbacks as Seattle nursing quarterback injuries. Ken Lucas and Paul Flying Miranda. Donovan McNabb knows that. James Thrash, touchdown. Lucas beaten 10-0 Philly.
Yeah, James Thrash, Ken Lucas working on him. He will learn. He is a rookie, Ken Lucas is, to try to get a bump or redirect the route of a receiver. He didn't do it to Thrash, and he had to pay.
This time, McNabb, what a pretty pass to Thrash over Lucas. Again, Tommy, another look as the Eagles score and lead at 17-3.
Yeah, you take a look here in a position to try to get a bump, didn't get it. Allows Thrash the room to get to the outside and get another score.
Matt Hasselbeck didn't get his team in the end zone the first game. Sacked by Jeremiah Trotter. 7 Eagle sacks. Here's another one. I like Ike. Reese makes the sack. So Seattle is 1-1, but they've yet to score a touchdown. In Philadelphia, after losing a game they thought they should have won against the Rams, or certainly could have, with an impressive 27-3 win on the road. The student, Andy Reid, beats the mentor, Mike Holmgren.
Yeah, and you think about the defensive coordinator of the Eagles, a lot of pressure on Kurt Warner last week. Jim Johnson, he put a lot of pressure again on Hasselbeck this week, so he's doing a great job with pressure.
Holding Seattle to 147 yards. That's the real Jimmy Johnson. The Eagles defensive coordinator. When we return, the Rams at San Francisco for an entertaining game. Game balls and more.
Get ready for the NBA season. NBA League Pass gets you on the court with up to 40 games a week. Go to Channel 216 or call 1-800-GET-SPORTS and get NBA League Pass from DirecTV Sports.
Stars, #1 in new hit movies, brings you the Stars Free Preview Weekend, October 5th, 6th, and 7th on DirecTV. Watch new hit movies on all 12 Stars Super Pack channels and get a chance to win a new Nintendo GameCube before you can buy it. See new hit movies like Remember the Titans, Bounce, U-571, and even more new hit movies. Watch the Stars Free Preview Weekend on channels 520 through 533. Call 1-800-391-4DTV.
Internet is here to wish good luck to all ESPN.com Fantasy Football League participants.
Go you guys.
Beautiful. It's ESPN Fantasy Football 2001, the classiest fantasy football on the internet.
It's primo.
For more than 10 years, we've sought to bring you the sports world in perspective with issues faced by the rest of society. Never more so than now. Outside the Lines, Lives Remembered, hosted by Bob Lee, 7 p.m. Tuesday on ESPN.
Coming up on SportsCenter at 6 Eastern, has Michael Jordan made a decision yet? The Patriots and Jags get bad news on the injury front, and how did Tony Gwynn help Barry Bonds with his home run swing? Join me, Trey Wingo, with Chris McHenry and Kenny Mayne after NFL Primetime.
Welcome back to NFL Primetime, presented by Miller Lite.
17 straight. The 49ers beat the Rams, but the Rams have beaten San Francisco 4 straight, but nobody was thinking of those numbers before the game. That was Terrell Owens, quarterbacks. And now we play an entertaining football game. Warner and Garcia side by side, but Garcia, ball tipped out of the hands of Owens. Mark Fields, one of the many new starters for the Rams defense, brings it back to the 25.
Yeah, and Terrell Owens is going to catch a lot of balls that are thrown to him like that. That one he lets bounce off his chest. Fields does a great job of continuing to get to the football to make the INT.
Quite a few drops on this day, Tom. He's such a good player. Garrison Hurst, his comeback story, one of the best in football. He gets hammered. He suffered a concussion, would not play in the second half. Garcia to Owens, 10-yard pickup on 4th and 4 as the Niners, trailing 12-0, try to keep it alive. Then quarterback draw Garcia. Touchdown. 12-7. Niners coming back at the stick. Next Rams drive. One of those young defensive players that Steve Mariucci's counting on. Ahmed Plummer makes the pick of Kurt Warner. Niners ensuing drive. Kevin Barlow, the rookie, in, and the Niners lead 13-12, 16-12 at the half. But in the third quarter, here come the Rams. Kurt Warner buying time to Marshall Faulk, and he turns a little play into a nice game. Same drive, Warner. Zahir Keem, touchdown, 25 yards. A lot of sneezing in this game. Rams lead 19-16. Fourth quarter, Warner. Isaac Bruce. Oh, what a run by the referee.
Well, and the thing you love about Kurt Warner is he has no conscience. He throws an INT, it doesn't matter, just keeps swinging it.
2-point conversion good after the touchdown. What a play by Bruce, 30-16. 4th and 4 for the Niners. Garcia scrambling. Finds Tommy's cousin Terry Jackson. Touchdown, 30-23. Then Baby Cortez, it's a field goal, 30-26. But Marshall, up the middle of first down. Same drive on 3rd and 4, Marshall Faulk. And the Rams run out the clock. Warner threw for 321 with 3 touchdowns. Bruce caught 8 for 144. As the Rams are now 2-0, and the Niners gave him a tough game, but St. Louis, they score 30.
Yeah, and this is the balance we're used to. The 100 yards rushing by Marshall Faulk, the catches by the receivers, the 300 yards or so by Kurt Warner. This is the offensive balance that they've had for a couple of years.
424 to 232 in yards.
Primetime Players is brought to you by 1-800-COLLECT. Save a buck or two.
Boom, my game ball goes to the entire Bengals defense. Snap Baltimore's 12-game winning streak. What a win this was for Cincinnati in that city.
Well, you'll take defense and I'll take offense. Peyton Manning, I think he's only revving up this year. The Colts are already scored 87 points, 4 TDs, 421 yards thrown for Peyton, and he ran for 1. And
you win.
Who wins? Tom second. As this is who you voted for, Doug Flutie and Jay Fiedler getting some votes. Certainly understandable. Football back. Everyone had an opinion. When we return, more football, emotional effort by the Jets in New England, and some thoughts on a day unlike any other in the NFL.
NFL Primetime is presented by Miller Lite. Grab a Miller Lite. It's Miller time. And in part by Budget, who has a variety of great rental cars for people who like renting great cars.
So the New York Giants won at Kansas City. The other New York team also on the road, the Jets, playing a late kickoff in New England. Another area certainly hit by the tragedies. Hit home as, remember, 2 of those planes left from Boston's Logan Airport on September 11th. And what a time for the Andruzzi family. Guard of the Patriots, Joe Andruzzi, 3 firefighting brothers, Jim, Bill, Mark, Dad, a retired New York City policeman. They were the honorary co-captains, really, for both teams before the game in Foxborough. What an emotional scene, certainly, and both teams felt it. Drew Bledsoe and the Patriots, Victor Green and the Jets, that's the New York Police Department hat. And there's Joe Andruzzi with his brothers, Jim, Bill, Mark. Congratulations, guys. Thank you for everything you and your engine companies have done. Mark Edwards fumbles in a 3-3 game in the third quarter. The Jets recover. Jets ensuing drive. Curtis Martin, he just still runs hard, Tom.
Coaches change, the game plan doesn't. Give it to him 30 times.
First and goal from the 8, and Martin still has the moves, too. 10-3, the Jets. Martin, 24 carries for 106 yards. Drew Bledsoe to Troy Brown and Banner renown. 58 yards down to the 11. 3rd and 7. The Patriots looking for the equalizer. And Bledsoe kind of heaves it. Where's it going? James Ferrier had this pick along with 13 tackles. What a game for Ferrier. Interesting, the Jets and Giants defense coming to the forefront. Certainly, Belichick could appreciate it. Good defense, but certainly not on this day against his team. Bledsoe scrambles. Mo Lewis nails him before he gets out of bounds, but Drew is so tough. He's just tough. He'd come back. Under 3 to go, 4th quarter. Shovel pass to Mark Edwards. Oh, he had it. He lost it.
Well, it's a play we don't like because it's a play thrown in traffic. A lot of bad things can happen unless the ball is dropped immediately, which makes it an incomplete pass.
Bledsoe on the sidelines for the last play. It's Tom Brady, but it's knocked down by the Jets. Congratulations, Herman Edwards. His first win as an NFL head coach. Drew Bledsoe taken to a local hospital for observation afterwards. Coach Bill Belichick said a couple of earlier hits affected his performance at the end.
Yeah, and as we did with Jim Fossil, congratulations to Herm Edwards for getting his team ready to play after 2 weeks, a big loss in week 1, the tragedy that went on in the last couple of weeks, and he got them ready to play, and they come out of it with a win.
Absolutely. It certainly was great to have pro football back, and we are happy to play our part in presenting it to you on this memorable Sunday. But all of us had better vow never, ever forget. And how could we forget? With over 30,000 at Yankee Stadium to remember the victims of the horrific attack on America. Individual lives have been forever altered. So has the United States. But we have always rebounded. As President Bush said Thursday, and I quote, "I ask you to uphold the values of America and remember why so many have come here." Wednesday in Philadelphia, I had a chance to see 2 symbols of this great land, the Liberty Bell and Independence Hall, where our forefathers signed the Declaration of Independence, July 4th, 1776. Buck Showalter was with me. He and I gazed into the hall and wondered aloud, can you imagine the words and the spirit in that room? Then fast forward to Thursday night in the Capitol. You could feel the spirit and hear the words of the president. Now today, in the stadiums, anthems, flags, cheering, you could feel that spirit again. Whether your team won or lost, it's really just a footnote. If football helped many of us recapture this within ourselves, then this was one of the greatest days in NFL history. Tom Jackson, I'm glad we were here together to see it, and it's good being with you, my friend. It's a day that none of us will ever forget for football. The scores speak for themselves, but the flag and the emotion speaks a lot louder. For Tom Jackson, I'm Chris Berman. Thanks for watching Primetime.